Hi everyone and welcome to another crazy theory courtesy of Warhawk Beyond 2040, and this is a follow-up video to the one I did of the Fantastic Four coming into the MCU, but this time I'm going to be talking about how I would like to see Doctor Doom be brought into the MCU and my theories on how they could pull that off. Doctor Doom has been considered by many people, myself included, to be one of the most important and iconic villains in the history of Marvel Comics. He's not just been the Fantastic Four's main enemy, he's been an enemy to Spider-Man, he's been an enemy to the Avengers. I think I remember at one point him and Iron Man in particular had a little beef going on. But as great as Doctor Doom has been, he's awesome in the cartoons. Can't really say anything bad about him in animation. The films, not so much. I mean, I can never really understand, to this day, how they could mess up or get Doctor Doom so wrong. I mean, he's one of the most iconic villains of all time. And he's pretty easy to adapt, but they just never seem to get it right. He's only had 4 live-action appearances. It's not really a lot for a guy like Doctor Doom. So let's start with this one. Just like I said in the previous video, Doctor Doom appeared in the 1994 Fantastic Four movie, and it was pretty close to the comic books. I mean, they showed how he became Doctor Doom, his friendship with Reed Richards, how they met in science college in their younger years, and for all the dated special effects and low budget stuff, this is a pretty decent effort considering it was 1994, and it wasn't bad. Then we hit to the 2000s and we had 2005's Fantastic Four, and Doctor Doom was the main bad guy, and he was played by Julian McMahon. Now, I've got nothing against Julian McMahon. He's a fantastic actor. I loved his work in Charmed, and especially Nip Tuck. He's a really awesome actor, but I just didn't like him as Doctor Doom, and that's nothing against him. He did the best he could with what he had to work with, but I just didn't like Doctor Doom's origin or his appearance in the movie. I mean, look at this shot. I mean, it looks okay, but it just doesn't feel like Doctor Doom. I mean, he never gets burns. I mean, we saw his face start peeling off and you start to see the metallic skin underneath, but other than that, it was pretty poor. I mean, he was just a guy in a suit, and then we get to Rise of the Silver Surfer. Thought Doctor Doom was slightly better, not perfect, but slightly better. He looked more kind of like the comic books. I mean, Julian McMahon, I think, was a little bit better in this role. We got to see him walking around Latveria Castle, we got to see him interact with the Silver Surfer, got to see him in his proper full dark robe that we know him for, and see him monitoring activities and stuff. So I put this one as slightly better. Not perfect, but it was okay. And just recently, oh my god, we have the 2015 Fantastic Four. And just like I said in the previous video, I have never seen the movie. I don't plan on seeing the movie. I've never even seen a trailer. I remember a friend of mine reluctantly saw this, and he said, "Oh, look at Doctor Doom. Look at what they did to him." I was like, "What the hell is this? This isn't Doctor Doom. He just looked hideous. He just looked horrible." And yeah, this wasn't. This. Let me just go and say it. This one sucked. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Absolutely sucked. With Avengers Endgame coming up, and we know that Thanos is going to be defeated, and we know that the MCU have built up Thanos as the quote unquote big bad for the cinematic universe. There is a lot of questions asked around after Thanos, who are they going to build up next as the MCU's big bad? So this is going to be my theory on how I'd like to see Doctor Doom be brought into the MCU, and how I'd like to see them build him up as the big bad for Phase 4. How I would like to see Doctor Doom appear in the MCU is maybe at the end of Avengers Endgame we have a post-credits scene where we see a creepy shot of Doom Castle in Latveria, and gives us a quick look around inside and shows us all the creepy paintings, and then we will cut to a hooded robed figure outside standing over the balcony seeing everything that's happened in the aftermath of Thanos' defeat. And then the figure would walk back into the study, sits in the chair, and we see it's none other than Doctor Doom, who's been watching everything that's been going on in the aftermath of Thanos being defeated and all the Infinity Stones being destroyed. Now, what they could do is just tease Doctor Doom, don't speak, but just keep him more hidden in the shadows, that we know that there's someone out there watching all this stuff going on. And I'd like him to first appear in the third Fantastic Four film, but I would like him to speak maybe at the end of the second Fantastic Four film, where in an after credit scene Sue Richards is kidnapped by Doctor Doom's robots, or she just disappears, and Ben, Johnny and Reed realise that she's missing, and Reed could shout out, said, "Whoever you are, what have you done with my wife? Show yourself, you coward. Who are you?" And then we would hear Doom speak, but just a little bit. We don't see him though, to get Reed basically in shock, which could build up to the third movie. Doctor Doom could basically say, "Hello Reed, it's been a long time. If you ever want to see your wife again, come to Latveria now and all will be revealed." And that's it. And that's how we get to the third movie. Now, the third movie, you can have Doctor Doom as the main villain, but I know I said already that he's going to be the MCU's big bad, not just the Fantastic Four, but this is where my theory will come into play. For the third Fantastic Four film, I would like Doctor Doom's origin to be told, but not just from Victor Von Doom's point of view, but also from Reed Richards' point of view. So basically, obviously the Fantastic Four are going to do battle with Doctor Doom, but I'd also like this to be more of a flashback, so they're both telling each other's side of the story of everything that went down between them in their younger days. And I'd also like to hear more about Doctor Doom growing up, so we could see all that stuff, and then after all that, Susan is rescued, and then they do the battle. But then I wouldn't have Doctor Doom necessarily defeated. It would look like he's defeated, but he escapes, he just disappears. Now, the payoff I would like to see for the Fantastic Four is, like Infinity War, I'd like to see them build to the Secret Wars. Now, for many of you hardcore fans out there, the Secret Wars was a big story arc in the comic books back in the 80s, where a being called the Beyonder wanted to pit good versus evil in a game of chess to see which side was more stronger. and basically Spider-Man had to put together a team of heroes to fight some of the worst villains in the universe. And what I'd like to see for that payoff for the Secret Wars is Doctor Doom is the main bad guy. He gets hold of the Beyonders' powers, just like in the cartoon and the comics, and he becomes essentially a god. He's basically got the powers of a god, and Spider-Man and all the heroes have to work together to defeat Doctor Doom, and that's what I'd like to see be the payoff for the end of Phase 4 of the movies, is the Secret Wars. So there you have it, guys. That's what I'd like to see, and that's how I'd like to see Doctor Doom be introduced. How would you like to see Doctor Doom be brought into the MCU? Would you go with this, or would you go with something completely different? So I will leave this here for you. Let me know what your thoughts are. Click the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I will see you next time. Take care, everyone.